She died without a name. No family came looking for her. There was no record of her birth, no one to mourn her death. And yet, her face would go on to save millions of lives. This story begins in Paris during the late 1800s. At the end of the 19th century, Paris was a city of stunning beauty, a beacon of culture and art. But like any great city, the City of Light also hid endless, deep shadows. One cold morning, fishermen working on the River Seine pulled a body from the water. It was a young woman. By all appearances, she was likely no more than 16 years old. When the authorities examined her, they found no wounds, no signs of violence on her body. The only finding was simple and tragic. Water in her lungs. The official cause of death was ruled a suicide. In a city as vast and often as cruel as Paris, this was a depressingly common story. Another forgotten girl, lost to the river, her life and struggles erased by the cold, dark water. Her case would have been closed and forgotten. Just one more anonymous tragedy among thousands. But when the coroner at the city morgue began to clean the river grime from her face, something stopped him. Something utterly unexpected. The girl was smiling. It wasn't a smile of joy, nor was it the grimace of madness. It was something else entirely, something he had never seen on the face of the deceased. It was a look of profound peace. Her lips were curved gently upwards. Her eyes were closed, not in the agony of death, but as if she were simply in a deep, peaceful sleep. There was no fear in her expression, no agony, just a serene, almost blissful calm. The coroner was a man who had seen thousands of dead faces in his career. He had seen fear, anger, shock, and sorrow etched into the features of the departed. But this girl's face, this one, haunted him. He couldn't reconcile the violent, desperate act of suicide with the tranquil beauty of her final expression. Unable to explain why, and driven by an impulse he didn't fully understand, he made a decision that no one expected. He decided to create a plaster cast of her face. This wasn't for any official purpose. It wasn't for science or for identification. He did it simply because he could not bear the thought of letting that serene, mysterious face disappear forever. He felt compelled to preserve it. Word of this unusual death mask began to spread. Soon, replicas of the mask started appearing across Paris. From the morgue, it moved into the city's artistic circles. Artists, captivated by its enigmatic beauty, placed her face on their studio walls for inspiration. Poets saw a muse in her silent expression and wrote verses about the mystery she represented. Philosophers debated the meaning behind her peaceful smile, pondering what secrets lay behind it. The people of Paris gave her a name, L'inconnue de la Seine, the unknown woman of the Seine. To them, she wasn't just a corpse pulled from the river. She was a work of art, a mystery frozen in time. The famous writer and philosopher Albert Camus would later look upon her face and say she looked like someone who had just lived again, a Mona Lisa of the morgue. But for all the fascination, no one ever knew who she was, or why she died. Her identity remained a complete mystery, lost to the Seine forever. Decades passed. The world changed in dramatic and violent ways. The early 20th century brought wars that reshaped the globe. Empires rose and fell. Technology and medicine advanced at a dizzying pace. And yet, through all this turmoil, her face remained. It hung quietly in studios, in salons, and in classrooms across Europe. Silent, constant, observée, watching generations of people live and die. She became a fixture, a piece of cultural history, her origins slowly fading into legend while her image became iconic. Then, one day, far from the artistic salons of Paris, her destiny took another incredible turn. The story moves to Norway in the 1950s. A toy maker named Smond Lertle was working on a difficult problem. He had been approached by a group of doctors who needed a better way to teach a new life-saving technique called cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR. The existing training mannequins were stiff, lifeless, and frankly, a little creepy. They were unrealistic. The doctors explained that in real emergencies, people would often freeze. They were afraid to perform CPR on a real person because they had only ever practiced on cold, hard plastic dummies. They needed something that felt more human, something that could bridge the gap between training and a real-life crisis. Lertle understood he needed to create a mannequin with a face. But what kind of face? It needed to be calm and neutral, not frightening. It needed to be a face that people wouldn't feel strange or hesitant about practicing on, a face that felt approachable and human. As he was searching for inspiration, he happened to see a mask hanging on the wall in his in-laws' home. It was her. That same serene expression, that same peaceful, enigmatic smile. It was the face of l'inconnue de la Seine, the unknown woman of the Seine. In that moment, Lertle knew he had found the face for his project. It was perfect. It was lifelike, yet peaceful. It conveyed a sense of calm that was ideal for a tool meant to teach people how to stay calm and save a life. And so, in one of history's most beautiful and bizarre twists of fate, a new chapter of her story began. From a symbol of tragic death, she was about to become a global symbol of life. Lertle modeled the face of his new CPR mannequin directly after the plaster cast of the girl from the Seine. He gave the mannequin a name. Resusci Anne, almost overnight, Resusci Anne became a global phenomenon. Suddenly, millions of people all around the world in hospitals, schools, military bases, fire departments, and community centers were practicing how to save lives. And they were all doing it using the face of a girl who, a century earlier, could not be saved herself. Her face became, in an odd statistical fact, the most kissed face in human history. Not out of romance or love, but out of a desperate hope for survival. Every simulated breath given to Resusci Anne was a breath that the real girl never received. Every practiced chest compression was a chance at life she was never given. The ultimate irony is that through her silent, anonymous death, she taught millions of people how to give the gift of life. Today, no one knows her real name. There is no grave that bears her identity. No historical record explains her final moments or the reasons for her despair. We will likely never know the true story of the young woman who ended her life in the River Seine all those years ago. But what we do know is that more people around the world today would recognize her face than almost any other woman who has ever lived. She is more recognizable than queens, movie stars, or political leaders. She died completely unknown. Yet, through her death, millions upon millions have learned how to live. Her story is a powerful reminder of how life and death are intertwined in the most unexpected ways. Some lives echo loudly while they exist and then vanish completely when they're gone. But other lives, they whisper quietly and defend. Their echo goes on to change the world forever. The unknown woman of the Seine never spoke a word, but her silence taught humanity how to breathe again. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please like, share, and subscribe for more forgotten histories.